Welcome everyone. My name is Rene Moses. I'm one of the Starfish mentors. And here today we have our very own Sarjo Baldeh, who is our superstar. I would have a short interview with her, but I would love to know, you can introduce yourself and tell me and tell us what has being at AFCON meant to you.
Being an AFCON means a lot to me. It means I have represented a lot of girls that are in the media. And it's a dream come true for me because I've always wanted to go for the Africa Cup of Nations, and today it has come true. And people have seen my work, they have seen I have represented the nation, and everybody is so proud of me, and I am so grateful for that.
It took you quite a while to get to this moment, and I'm sure there's a lot of preparations and a lot of sweat, blood, and tears that went to this before you went to AFCON. Tell me about it. How did you get here?
Okay, so my photography journey started here at Starfish International. So I was a student in my 9th grade, so it was a summer program. So I was lucky to be part of the photography team that Auntie Shelley was going to teach. So after the summer program, I continued taking pictures at Starfish because we have a lot of activities that happen. So I was a student at the same time, a photographer as well, which was really unique. It makes me unique to be part of those students. And I'll be taking pictures, and then we'll be posting it on the social media platforms. So we went there from taking pictures to taking videos. So people think I only take pictures, but I'm also good with videos as well. So when I graduated in 2020, someone bought a camera for me, and I started taking pictures as well. But sports started in 2021. It wasn't. So the most beautiful part of it is that it's not like I have been doing sport. I don't know anything about sport, but I find it very interesting how people capture motion, and because it's time, when it's gone, and you cannot capture it again.
Yeah.
So, and I, growing up and doing sport and growing up doing photography, I haven't seen Gambia taking doing sports photography and people posting it, unlike other countries and how they do it with them too. So 2021, when the AFCON qualification was actually going on, Gambia have to play with South Sudan in chess. So I gave it a try by applying, and I got accepted. So I didn't know anyone. I have to go to Senegal with the Gambia journalist boss, and they didn't know that I was also a photographer as well. So when we reached there, I entered the pitch, and people were seeing that. So I found people, some men with their long lens. I was having just a 300mm lens with the Canon T6, and entering the pitch, entering the football field, and seeing them there, I have to go to the opposite field because it's my first time doing it, because it was even actually in the bus that I was in YouTube researching for sport settings, and I set my camera there, went in, take pictures, and did live updating. So the same thing that is happening right now about on the social medias, being the only girl, was the same thing that happened in 2021, being the only girl in the field, and people posted it on all social media platforms as well.
Right.
So that is when I started actually going into sport photography, and the whole of the 2021, I went as a freelancer. And 2022, I worked with Real de Banjul. Now I am working with Fortune FC in 2023. And to me, Starfish have really impacted my life a lot. And today I'm using what I have learned to make my life easy for me in the outside world. Starfish have instilled a lot of qualities in me. To Starfish, one of the most important things is your education, because it's an educational program. So even though we do extracurricular activities, but it's really important for you to pass your exams and be in the best classes that you are supposed to be in, because it's really going to help you as well, even though you are learning from Starfish, but it's going to help you as an individual. So Starfish have instilled qualities in me that makes me view the world in a different way. It makes me be very hardworking, because I don't know where I might find myself in this world, and it has really helped me to make life easy for me too. So Starfish have impacted my life. So it is the organization that actually taught me photography too.
You mentioned that you've started with Starfish.
Yeah.
So how has being a Starfish girl prepared you for this moment in history?
So just like we always say as Starfish students, when you survive it here, you'll be able to survive anywhere you go outside. Because whatever we were taught at Starfish have really helped us, for like especially me. It has changed the way I think. It has changed the way I view the world. It has changed the way I have to prepare myself. Because as staff is every single day you have to have your to-do list. So going to the pitch, I just don't get up and go and take pictures like that. I have to jot down the things that I really want to capture, and then the rest of the things that I want to capture can be later. But my target, what story do I want to tell before between the Gambia and Cameroon, Gambia and Senegal, what is going to happen. So I have to do my to-do list before each game, and that is why whenever I go out and I complete my list, and then rest is when I take random pictures of any other things. So also that being service oriented have forever been in us, because whenever we go to the beach, I like networking with people. If they need my help, I always step in and also help, because there were a lot of photographers from different parts of the countries, and you will have people that will approach you that either their laptop is not working or stuff is not working. I had that experience where someone wanted to use my laptop while I was editing. I have to do it as soon as possible and give him, even though I don't know him, whether he was going to take my laptop away and just run with it. That didn't cross my mind, but I know he needed help, and that is why I stepped in and helped him.
Right.
So it has really, I would say all the qualities I have learned have really helped me and make things easier, way better for me than, I would say, different from other people.
Right. So I have been a Starfish student before, and I am a Starfish mentor, so I know exactly what you're
That is
talking
exactly.
about service and just giving back like that. And I wanted to like also talk about like it's people sometimes see like the positive things and see all the light that's coming to you, but also not really seeing much of the challenges that comes with the job, especially as a young photographer. So can you talk a little bit about some of the challenges that you face as a young photographer in this field?
I would say at first, the first challenges that now I have overcome, I would say, will be like trying to make Gambians understand how sport photography is really important in our nation and how it can really take our sports to another level. Because at first, maybe people really believe that you just use your phone and take pictures, but the pictures of that you see of Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, while the game is happening, people are posting it on the social media platform, and they are still updating you about the match, even though if you are not watching it. Like all that is not impossible for us to do. It is really possible. That is why when I went in for sport, I love doing live updating. By when the match is going on, I still update you with the pictures and the minutes of the match and whoever scored. So the other thing is that trying to convince people to take me for the first Africa Cup of Nations, I'll say with the under 20, which actually failed. And I feel like it was unfair for me to be going into offices like I'm looking for sponsors, I want to do this, I want to do that, because I am a sport photographer, and even if I go for the Africa Cup of Nations, which was the under 20, it was the name of Gambia that was going to be out there, because it is our pictures that people were going to see, because it is Gambia that I represent. And I wish people could really see the youths, like the ideas we have to take sports to another level. That was what I wish. But after the Africa Cup of Nations for the under 20, I promised myself that I will never be telling people or going to the offices or begging for people to take me for other Cup of Nations. I wanted my work to speak for itself. And that is why I started doing more research on sports, what other people are doing outside, and what can I make it possible, how can I make it possible in the Gambia. I started doing that. I started updating more frequently on my social media platform. I started improving on my own skills, and I know there are a lot of young people doing sport photography out there that is going to be easy for them also today. So let the work speak for itself, and it has been speaking for itself now, and I hope for more tournaments coming up, Gambia can be represented well.
So what are some advantages of having a female, specifically a female photographer doing sports?
It has a lot of advantages. It makes you very, very unique, and it makes you stand out when you go out for tournaments, because if you have to go, 99% of the people accredited will be men and tall, fit people that have been in the industry for a while, people that are really good in it. So it has very big advantage for me because I would say in this Africa Cup of Nations, they actually look up to me because when the news started coming out and they have to look at my size and look at the pictures that I take, some of them will actually laugh when they see me. And some of them actually be asking me, how do I do it? What settings do I use? So me being female and approaching them, the male, it's really beautiful because I ask them a lot of questions. And some of them, I don't know whether they are angry at me or what, but I ask a lot of questions. I make sure I ask a lot of questions like, how did you take this picture? What settings do you use? And I'll set my camera there. Because I realized that one of the things I learned in Ivory Coast is that the weather changes instant while you're even taking your pictures. And your pictures will go from great to very bad. And you have to go back to setting it again. So having that communication with the male photographers makes it really easy for me because they know I am a female, and if I ask them questions, they are always ready to answer it. So it's unique, it's beautiful, and it makes you stand out as well.
Right. So for me, one of the things that I am really grateful for is the amount of work that you've put into this, the behind the scenes, what people don't really see. I remember us spending lots of sleepless nights doing the work behind the scenes and learning, practicing. And that's something that I am really grateful for in your journey. And I'm actually really glad that I am a part of the wonderful story that you're creating for yourself. And I wanted to ask you, how do you plan to give back, or how are you giving back, as especially serving at Starfish and beyond? Because a lot of Starfish students have seen your story, a lot of the Starfish mentors are watching you grow. Now, how do you plan to keep serving at Starfish and also beyond too?
I already love sharing my knowledge with people because I've taught photography to a lot of girls, and now they are doing actually very well, and they're in other football teams, actually being their sport photographers as well. So it is still the same. I will want to train more and more people where they can also be able to do sport photography. And because when we have more girls and more maybe young boys that are really interested in doing sport photography, it's going to take the Gambia sport from zero to another level, because it is young people representing us in tournaments and taking pictures. So I am ready to share my knowledge with whoever that is interested in doing sport photography, only when they are ready to face the hardest part of it. Because it doesn't have money at all. When I have to say, I would think about salary and I will think about the money part of it. Gambia sports, it's just starting, like it's not that much advanced, but I knew what I wanted. I knew how it was going to make a difference, so I focused on it. And today it took me to the Africa Cup of Nations, but it doesn't take you like overnight. You have to go through a lot. And sometimes when I go through certain things, I'm like, I'm just a kid. Why am I even going through all this? Why am I going through these things that adults should be going through? So sometimes I say that to myself. But I have seen it. Like, look at what happened in the Africa Cup of Nations. Amazing. I'm ready to teach a lot of people who are going to represent us in a lot of tournaments, because we have tournaments happening in a year, like a lot of tournaments that happen in different countries. So when we have a lot of girls that are going in for it, it is really going to be amazing.
Can you talk a little bit about the nobility quality and how Starfish has taught you that quality and how you're implementing it right now?
So the nobility quality is one of the very important quality in Starfish. So for example, when I wanted to go with the under-20 to the Africa Cup of Nations, going to offices and telling them for them to sponsor me and go for the trip it's not a good feeling to me. Yes, I wanted people to take me to the Africa Cup of Nations, but I wanted them to take me because they have seen the work that the young girl is doing for sports in the Gambia, than going to offices and begging. And like, it does not tell well for me as a person that is really extremely already doing well in sports. So from there, the nobility quality have forever been in me. I was going to let my work speak for itself, just like I said previously. And today, not only just AFCON, but my work have been speaking for itself, because I have been giving quality pictures to Fortune FC. And I'm glad that I have given quality and sharp images for the Africa Cup of Nations as well for the Scorpions. And the boys are really happy. Some of them have used it to post on their social media platform. Me seeing that really inspired me to even do better and want to represent Gambia and can even be the national team photographer of the Gambia, it's going to be a dream come true for me, because I've watched other young photographers that are really doing well, that are team photographers of big leagues like Premier League, that are really doing well, and their photographer is actually female. That is, they have inspired me, and I would want to do the same for Gambia too.
Right, right. So when people look at your story, they don't really see the behind the scenes. They don't really see the sleepless nights. And when someone from outside looks at it, they will look like, hey, hello, Sarjo, look at how she's suffering. Look at how she's spending the night. Now, how has those sleepless nights and the sweat blood of tears prepared you for this moment? And can you highlight like how specifically they've prepared you for right now?
So I remember there's this time you asked me to edit a video, and I wanted to badly go home because the next day I have a game and I have to attend the training in the morning. So at that point, I was like, Rene really hates me a lot, because at that moment, what I was thinking about is that you did not see the part that I wanted to go and cover football, but you wanted me to edit a video until in the morning. And I have to edit that video from 6 until 6 a.m. again the same morning. And that was really hard. I was crying, I was editing at the same time. But today, looking at it, when I was in the AFCON, the Ivory Coast food is nice, but I have this health condition, not all type of food that I'm supposed to eat. And at some point, I was just eating fruits. And the more time it goes, the more it was really affecting me. People did not know about it. Just imagine you editing videos, and that was not the first time me editing only videos from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. or the whole day or whole weeks. But endurance is really important, and I have persevered because no one knows in the media team I went with. They didn't know that at some point I was not eating. I knew I could do something maybe to eat other type of food. That is why I was just eating fruits at some point. But that does not mean that it stopped me from actually going to the games happily and covering the games nicely and making everybody proud and representing the nation as well.
I wanted to know what is next for you and what is next for Baldehs. What are some of your goals and what are some of your hopes that you would like to see? A year, 5 years, 10 years?
So I hope to go for more tournaments like the World Cup coming up, the Women's World Cup coming up. There are a lot of tournaments, actually big tournaments that are coming up, and being able to attend those tournaments is going to be a blow. It's going to be a dream come true for me, because I've always wanted to go for the World Cup. I've seen a lot of female photographers go for the World Cup, and which is really amazing. So having a Gambian be in the World Cup, even if the team maybe it's not there or not, but Gambia being there as a representative is going to be an amazing thing for me. And I hope we have a lot of Baldehs that go around covering tournaments, making Gambia proud, making each and every team that they are working to proud. And I hope that really happens. And yeah, one of the things I would say is like, I am really lucky that even though I am not full-time at Starfish, but I always text you what are the feedbacks for the pictures I take, especially with Gambia and Senegal game. You still guided me through it, even though I tell you that I want to be a sport photographer. Like, are you sure you're ready for it? What are the things? You guided me, even though I am not here in 99%, but outside, you are always texting me, sending me feedbacks. This is what you could do better. This is good. This is like, I would say I'm lucky. And I have that with you, and Papi's also guiding me through it. I'm really grateful.
Right. So yeah, your whole journey, you've really had a lot of people who have supported you and people that you've held on to. And I wanted to say, what would you say to those people, specifically the Starfish mentors, and the Starfish volunteers, Auntie Shelley and them, who have watched you grow from a little girl, a teenager, who was holding a small camera, running around Starfish and taking pictures, to where you are right now? What would you say to them?
And first of all, when people were posted, I texted Auntie, I was like, Auntie Shelley must be very proud. And then I was like, I wish they interviewed me first. It goes viral, then other people interviewing me and writing about me. Because if you look at it, you'll be so proud that you taught photography to someone that when she was very little and now she's representing, like she's in the Africa Cup of Nations, being the headlines of the news. Like that feeling is amazing to me. And I want to say a very big thank you to Starfish, the mentors, Auntie Shelley, Rene Moses, every single one that Auntie Yasin that really supported me through my journey and is still supporting me even though I am not at Starfish 99%. But behind the scenes, they are actually really supporting me a lot and I'm really grateful. So to me, I will be like, I am capable of covering anything because I know I have the support at home, that people that are really writing to me, supporting me, asking me what I need, what can help, what can they do to make my job easy for me. That really helps me and make me believe in myself even more, that I can be able to do anything. And I want to say thank you very much, and I am really, really grateful. And to me, this is just the beginning of it. Like, let the headlines be there, but when we go for World Cup, it's going to be another thing too. Sure.
Well, Sarjo, I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, again, I'm really lucky to be a part of your journey, and you also allowing me to coach you, and even and the things that you've taught me as a creative person is something that I am really, really grateful for. So congratulations, and again, I am super, super proud of you. Can't wait to see the exciting things that you get to create.
So I also want to say one last thing. One thing that Rene taught me is let the best go out. Like, even if it's going to take time for you to create the best quality, make sure you always put the best out there and let the work speak for itself. And that is what I did. And every single day, that is what I am doing. And today, the work is speaking for itself, and I am grateful.
Thank you, Sarjo.
Thank you, Ray.
This is great. Thank you, everyone.